Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. Let us give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha Kodash, and double honor to our elders and apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. And let's just get it. This lesson we're gonna go into. I want to originally label it. If she asks you for a ring, ask her for a token of virginity. All right, because for one, we're not living accustomed to the fashion of this world. The Lord put us out of this world. All right, and these women need to be taught the truth. They need to be taught. Everybody need to be taught the truth. Even these young men need to be taught the truth. Because when I go to the plantation, I be hearing all these guys talking about them getting a ring for their already wives, right? They already got children with them, so on and so forth. They're already their wife, but they want to get them a ring. I understand the fact that in this world, you got to have a certain kind of document if something was to happen to you as a man, for the woman to receive, your goods. That's why you had to be wiser, than the serpent. If y'all have certain things stored up, and y'all store that stuff up yourself and don't touch it. In the time we're living in right now, storing stuff inside the bank and the 401k and all that stuff, man, you be better off just getting it out when you can and storing it up somewhere and just adding to it if that's what you really want to do. But I can't tell another man what to do with his mistress, what to do with his wives. At the end of the day, y'all have to figure it out. You have to pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has your best interest in heart, and that you're doing what he, what he command you to do, so that he can have your best interest in his mind. All right, but with that, I want to first and foremost, I want to pull up a couple of examples of why it's very important for a man to understand that it's not meant for us to get married in these days and time like that. Here go one example. One of I've already shown y'all before. Yeah. Hold on, there they go. Here's one example. You already heard about this.
Dr. Dre and Nicole Young divorce settlement. Dr. Dre and Nicole Young settled their divorce after 18 months of legal battles over finances and assets. Rolling Stone, TMZ, and other sites claim the following settlement points. The property settlement agreement stated that Dr. Dre will pay Nicole Young $100 million. This amount is more than 20% of Dr. Dre's projected $820 million net worth. Asset division. Nicole Young will keep her Rolls-Royce, Range Rover, Escalade limousine, Spider motorcycle, jewelry, cash, and bank accounts, according to the settlement. Dr. Dre will maintain 7 properties, 6 vehicles, full master recording rights, trademarks, partnerships, trusts, and Apple stocks. Legal disputes. The 1996 prenuptial agreement was challenged in the divorce. Nicole Young claimed duress, but the court upheld the prenup. Nicole Young initially sought $2 million per month in spousal support, but the court determined that she would not receive any alimony. Dr. Dre and Nicole Young divorced.
All right. Is that fair? What about this?
Did you know that Eamon Shumpert lost almost everything in his divorce from Tayana Taylor? After 7 years of marriage, their divorce was finalized, and Tayana walked away with 4 houses worth over $10 million, a 7-figure payout, and luxury cars, including a $300,000 Maybach and a $70,000 Mercedes Sprinter. Oh, and she retained 100% ownership of all her businesses, while Eamon was left paying $8,000 a month in child support and covering their kids' private school tuition. And to top it off, Tayana's net worth is now estimated at $5 million, and she is making about $94,000 per month, while Eamon is only bringing in $48,000. Damn, but here's where it gets even messier. Tayana accused Eamon of leaking their divorce details to blogs, causing major backlash online. She even pushed for him to be held in contempt of court. This guy spent 10 years in the NBA hustling just to lose all his fortune in one day, while his wife is getting her back blown by Aaron Pierre, aka Mufasa. Do you think Eamon got played, or was this just a brutal divorce?
Y'all see that? And that's wicked. That's wicked. Sorry, y'all. That's wicked. Here's the last one.
On August 8, 2024, Toni Braxton secretly married Birdman. 2 days later, she filed for divorce. Since dating in 2016, the couple has had a public engagement, a brief split.
2 days later? Hey, the men of the Lord, the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, hey, Lord willing, the Lord is working with you. Because these are wicked women. The Lord said a wicked woman is given to a wicked man, is a portion of a wicked man. But he that pleases the Most High shall escape her. All right, if y'all dealing with women like this, man, if she's wicked, Lord willing, you escape her. Or at least be wise. Be wise. Don't sit up there and get no damn ring. Don't get no marriage. Don't file no papers. None of that shit. It's a contract with the devil. Literally, it's a contract with Esau Edom, the devil. Where he can come in and do things like this. That's why when Jacob's trouble hit, a lot of these women, they smiling now. They smiling now. But you see who you dealing with? You dealing with men, you taking everything a man worked hard for. And using Esau Edom to take advantage of that. All right? So when Jacob hit, you know what's about to happen.
And persistent rumors about their status. Toni Braxton married Birdman, Brian Christopher Williams, privately on August 8, 2024. This information came from court documents obtained by TMZ and other media publications. The couple kept their wedding private to maintain their privacy. Braxton filed for divorce 2 days after their wedding, August 10, 2024. In her filing, she called the marriage irretrievably broken, indicating major troubles that occurred soon after their vows. The divorce suit was filed 2 weeks after the wedding, indicating their relationship's quick decline. Toni Braxton unexpectedly dropped her divorce petition 5 months later in January 2025. Birdman also accepted dismissal. This shows that their connection is unclear despite their official marriage. They haven't said if they've mended romantically or just legally. On August 8, 2024, Toni Braxton secretly married Birdman.
All right, that's it. That's pitiful, man. When a woman marries a man, she's not supposed to get married to another man unless he passed away. But you know, just like your girl Tiana Taylor, you know, she getting her back blown out while she making another man suffer. While she making her husband, her true husband. Well, no, that ain't even. I can't even say that's a true husband. For this fact alone, let's get it. For this fact alone, let's get it. Deuteronomy chapter 22. No, that's not where I want to go. No. Give 1 minute. No. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord. All right, verse 40. But she is happier if she abide after my judgment, and I think also that I have the spirit of the Most High. All right, so a woman, when you get with a man, you marry a man, get with a man, meaning you lay down with a man, that's your man. Matter of fact, like I said, going back to how I want to name this lesson, if she asks you for a ring, ask her for a token of virginity. Because most of these women, they're harboring other men's DNA. Harboring, that's crazy, huh? They're harboring other men's DNA. They're harboring other men's thoughts, feelings, emotions. Okay? deep down inside, these women are still connected to these men, especially if they're not dead. All right? And it's a sin, it's adultery. All right? Now, once upon a time we were ignorant, but now we must move a little with a little more, wisdom. Now that we in this truth, right? Let me go here. We're gonna start from the beginning, just to get some understanding, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to Corinthians. We're gonna go up to verse 34. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 34. There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. All right, so a woman that doesn't have a man, your focus should be on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and doing the things that he told you to do as a woman. All right? But she that is married, careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. All right? And those things that you're caring for your husband, the things of the world, is considering the things that your husband want of the world. Now, not necessarily of the world, because we're in the world, we're not of it. But, out of certain things, like cooking, cleaning, taking care of him, his due benevolence. Sometimes these women might buy a gift. They do the birthday thing. But we're not concerned with none of that stuff. Birthday and Christmas and all this stuff, anniversaries and shit like that. But she might do some things like that. If she got the money, buy him a car or whatever. But in any case, 35. And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. So he's just warning you. All right. Paul is saying, I'm just warning y'all that when you are in a relationship, when you are married to a person, that a lot of times your mind is distracted from the Lord. In any case, especially a man of the Lord, you're supposed to forsake all things when it comes to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? You're supposed to forsake all things when it comes to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And y'all supposed to move in wisdom, in the wisdom and the knowledge which you have learned. Okay? According to the scriptures. Not according to the world. That you don't be distracted from the Lord. Let's get verse 36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, meaning if she, if she's having cycles, right? If she's having cycles, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. All right. So, like I said, it's better to marry than to roughly paraphrasing, than to be consumed by that fire. The fire of lust. You go off and then you go off and you do something you ain't supposed to be doing. It's better that you be with that woman. All right. It's better that y'all come together. All right. Nevertheless, verse 37. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but have power over his own will, and have so discreetly or decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, doeth well. So, okay, if you're one of those men that, okay, you want to keep, you have men that are, what they call it, that they're spiritual eunuchs. All right. They've made up in their mind and their heart that they have a duty to uphold to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And any woman that they get that's around, that's supposed to be a virgin, she's going to wait until he's he done the work or whatever, or probably pass on to the other world. Then she could find another man. It all goes according to, it starts with the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai first and foremost. All right, and I'm not just trying to give out blank judgments or settlements, but these are the words of wisdom in which we need to understand and have an understanding of, because the time we're coming into, we're going to have to operate off this understanding, you know. And this is what pretty much happened with Yahweh Shai. Matter of fact, let me get to verse 38, and then we'll continue into the Yahweh Shai situation. So then he that giveth her in marriage doeth well, but he that giveth her not in marriage doeth better. All right. So being a eunuch, when it comes to being distracted, you're not going to be distracted as much. You're going to be able to focus more on Yahweh Shai Shai, just like our elders and apostles always tell us. You know, yeah, if you got to dwell with a woman, then do so. You know, it's still decent. You know, you do it well. But he that giveth her in marriage, you know, do it better. I mean, give her not in marriage, do it better. So if you don't lay down with her, you're doing better as far as not being distracted by anything in the world, especially your woman. You know, because women and men can be a distraction. Like you operate according to the will of the Lord at the end of the day. And that's what you do. You operate according to the will of Yahweh Shem Shai at the end of the day, and everything will work itself out at the end of the day. And this is what Joseph was faced with. You know, he had a decision. I'm talking about the husband of Mary. Let's get it. The husband of Mary. We'll go to Matthew chapter 1. Matthew chapter 1, I'm going to start at verse 18. Now the birth of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach was on this wise. When as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, and espoused mean that you're getting prepared to be, you know, go through the rigmarole of the I don't want to say ritual, but the for lack of better words, you know, but the consummation, I guess you want to say, of Joseph and Mary coming together, right? Before they came together, right? When as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit. And Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privately. Okay, see, so whether you marry her or not, the thing is, Joseph married Mary before the arrangement. Joseph slept with Mary before the arrangement, therefore bringing forth Yahweh Shai. But instead of making her a public example, right, he put her away. He put her away privately. You know. Let's go here. So why you say that, Shemaiah? If you go to Genesis chapter 23, it tells you that jumping down, Genesis 23. What is this? Stop! Get off my screen. Salakia. It's not 23, Salakia. I must have bumped it. Is it 22? 24. I think it's 24. Let me see. Genesis 24. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, it's Genesis 24. And I'm going to start at verse 30. Nope. I'm going to start at verse 64. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and she saw Isaac. She lighted off the camel, right? She was riding on the camel. She got off the camel when she saw Isaac. For she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into her mother's tent, Sarah's tent. And Isaac had brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Okay, the same thing that happened with Yahweh Shai and Mary, pretty much. He took Mary before the time of the arrangement. before they can be espoused in front of all the people. I mean, before they can come together in front of all the people. But they were espoused together already. They were husband and wife. And back in the old days, we had there was if you go to Deuteronomy chapter 22, and starting at verse 13, it says, if a man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, and give occasional speech against her, and bring up any evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came into her, I found her not a maid, which means like a woman that hasn't been touched. Okay, the meaning her hymen hasn't been cut. All right, we had our old customs was when it came to marriage. You get a when you get a wife, the husband, the father and the husband make an agreement that this is a virgin. She hasn't been with nobody, and that's worthy of receiving trinkets or gifts and things of that nature. But as far as nowadays, this sinful and adulterous generation, we have to be on a more spiritual level, because there's spiritual ties connected to these traditions of men, which I'm gonna pull that up, Lord, when I get a chance to. There's traditional ties that come with spirits and enchantments, that can destroy you and your family if you're not spiritual enough to detach from the fashion of this world. At the end of the day, the Lord's given us a better way of operating, that everything is done under His watch, not as what we were told in the so-called Christian church, or you was told from your grandmama, or you was told from your mother, or even your father nowadays. Because these fathers out here, they lost in the sauce as well. All right, but verse 15 it says, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity into the elder of the city in the gate. So all right. And when before the husband give anything to the father for his daughter's hand, before he gives anything to the father, he goes into the woman, and the woman proves that she hasn't been touched by any other man. Thus, me bringing up the title for this lesson is, if she asks you for a ring, ask her for a token of virginity. All right. If she can't provide that for you, then say, hey man, then we even. We even. Don't worry about it. I don't gotta get you no ring. You don't gotta give me no token of virginity, and we know what it is. According to the Lord, right? Or according to the law, I'll say. Then shall the father of the damsel and the mother take and bring forth the tokens of the virgins, the damsel's virginity, unto the elders of the city in the gate, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. And lo, he have given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chasten him, right? And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he had brought up an evil name upon a virgin, right, upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all the days of all of his days. All right, so you're gonna have to pay even a heavier cost, to the father for your lies. And a lot of men did that in the day. Back in the day, you got the elders. Is that in Susanna? You got the elders in Susanna that was trying to set Susanna up, But then Daniel had stepped in, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, using wisdom, because they were about to put Susanna to death. But he stepped in and using that wisdom, the stability of our times, that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shema Shai. He stepped in and was like, hold on. The same thing that, these cops do nowadays. If there's two people on the case, they separate them, put them into different rooms, and then they question them, and then they get them in that trick question. So Daniel did the same thing. He separated the two bastards, the elder bastards that was trying to set up Susanna, because she was a beautiful woman. and they trying to gang bang her pretty much. They try to gang bang her pretty much. You know, and they try to manipulate her into doing what they want her to do. And she's like, hey man, I'm in the sight of the Lord. You know, I put my trust in the Lord. Yeah, by law, right? According to the law, statutes and commandments, by law, if y'all come up against me and y'all say, y'all agree, y'all witness against me that I did something with somebody I wasn't supposed to do it, then, you know, I'm gonna be put to death. I'm in y'all hands. But at the same time, I trust and I believe in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua that He's going to deliver me from this. And yeah, they took him to court, and they said what they said they piece. They lied on her, you know. And then the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua came upon Daniel, and Daniel cried out. He stepped in, and he said, "What y'all doing? Y'all know how to judge the matter? Y'all know how to judge the matter?" They just took the men's word for what it was because of the so-called the law. But many of our people have, especially our the leaders have gotten the law misconstrued. They used it for their own you know, just like when they try to stone the whore. Yahweh Shai had said, or the woman that caused adultery. Yahweh Shai had said, you know, ye without sin cast the first stone. But getting back to Susanna and Daniel had separated the two, just like the cops do nowadays. They separated the two accomplices, put them in two different rooms. He asked one guy one question, and then he asked the other guy the same question. They said it was two different names of the tree. Well, one had called it one tree, and the other, because Daniel had asked him, what tree did y'all find this woman committing this sin act with this man? And then the first guy said one tree, and the other guy said a home tree or something like that. The first guy said a mastiff tree or something. So y'all account don't link up. So y'all lied, and those bastards were put to death, and rightfully so. And rightfully so. All right, but back to Deuteronomy chapter 22. Verse 20. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel, and played the whore in her father's house. So shall thou put evil away from among you. So yeah, if she's found without that token of virginity, she supposed to get stoned to death. So the Lord is having mercy on all of us right now. But knowing His knowledge, His wisdom, and His understanding. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get this video and I'm gonna close out on that, because you have to understand what it is that that this world has convincingly told us is good for or decent for us, or traditionally okay for us to do, when it's fucking not. Check this out. Check this out. I'm gonna get ready to get out of
Feeling
here.
lonely and looking for a significant someone, but dating sites don't work for you? Tired of scrolling, browsing?
I'm trying to get
Have you ever wondered why we actually wear a wedding ring on the left hand? Like the real reason, not just the tradition everyone follows without question? Some people say it comes from the Roman Catholic Church, while others believe it's directly from the Bible. But the truth is, most people have no idea where this tradition truly began.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we're diving deep into the history, cultural beliefs, and what the Bible actually says about wedding rings on the left hand. Let's get into it. Let's start with what most people believe today. One of the most popular explanations is the idea of the vena amoris, or the vein of love. Many believe that wedding rings are placed on the fourth finger of the left hand because an ancient belief claimed that a special vein runs directly from that finger to the heart. Sounds romantic, right? Well, modern science has completely disproven this. There's no actual vein in the fourth finger that connects directly to the heart. But despite that, the idea stuck around and became a powerful symbol of love, being eternally connected to the heart. Beyond the vein of love, the circle of a ring itself has always been a strong symbol of eternity. No beginning, no end, just like the love between a husband and wife. That's why across many cultures, rings represent.
Check this out. Check this out. Okay, no, Venus, often associated with love, beauty, and values, is not inherently evil, while Venus retrograde can bring about shifts in relationships and financial decisions. It's not a sign of an inherently evil planet. Instead, it can be seen as a period of reflection and readjustment in those areas of life. Additionally, the planet Venus is considered beneficial in astrology, offering blessings like materialistic gain. Come on now, and luxury. Come on now. Does that seem like um something that they'll put in the church? That's demonic. At the end of the day, what did the Lord say? What did the Lord say? And with this knowledge and this wisdom and understanding, we should be moving not according to the world. Right? Numbers 23 and 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. 23 and 23. Numbers 23 and 23. I got to get ready to ride up. I want to make this statement. And people don't do their research. People don't study to show themselves approved. But they become part of everything in this damn wicked ass world to get along, to go along to get along type shit. 23. Look up this word enchantment. Nahas.
Strong's H 5173. Nachash. Nachash.
They want me to come in earlier than I normally do. Slakia. Nahash. A divination. Enchantment. All right. Nahash from H5172. And incantation or augury. Enchantment. Let's see what incantation means. A chant, okay? Incantation.
Incantation.
A series of words said as a magic spell or charm, right? An incantation to raise the dead. Chant, invocation, conjuration, a magic spell. So you putting that ring on somebody's finger is a magic spell. It's a magic spell, right? Back to the scripture though. Surely there is no enchantment. It's an enchantment. There is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what have the Most High worked? What have the Most High wrought? See, because the Most High is separating 1/3 from 2/3 of Israel. Just like it said about Jacob's trouble, right? There's no enchantment of Jacob. It says, just like I said, and in Jacob's trouble, Jacob shall be saved. But it's only the 1/3 of Jacob shall be saved from the destruction that's about to come. That's in Daniel chapter 12, I believe. Is it 9 or 12? Like, yeah. It must be Jeremiah, probably. Oh, okay, take me through it. I don't got the time. I got to get ready to go. Slakia family, thank you for y'all. Yeah, it's Jeremiah 30, Slakia. Jeremiah 30, at last, for that day is great, that so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, so that he shall be saved out of it. And who's going to be saved out of it? The elect of Jacob, the elect of 1/3 of Israel. The same with the enchantments. 1/3 of Israel is not going to give in to those enchantments, those divinations, the traditions of men, things like this.
Commitment, a promise that love will last forever. Loyalty, a sign that you belong to someone and them to you. Protection, some believed wearing a ring on the left hand, which is closest to the heart, would offer spiritual protection. Even with all of this said, we have discovered that this is not actually where the real custom comes from. So the question is, but where did this custom truly begin? Now, let's take a look at where the Christian tradition of wearing wedding rings on the left hand actually came from. Okay, so for us to understand why wedding rings are worn on the left hand today, we need to go back to ancient Rome, one of the most influential civilizations in shaping Western culture and traditions, including those within Christianity. Did you know that the Romans believed that the left hand was weaker and more vulnerable than the right hand? They even called it the sinister hand, which literally means unlucky or evil in Latin. Because of this, they often wore rings on their left hand as a symbol of protection and commitment. For the Romans, a ring was more than just a piece of jewelry. It was a legal contract that showed a man had claimed a woman as his bride. This was known as the annulus pronibus, a ring given as a public declaration that a woman was taken and under the authority of her husband, as in the husband owned this woman, so any other man better back off his property. Over time, the idea of rings as symbols of loyalty and love grew, and eventually,
You see that? You see where it started at, right? And even though you see all the women around here, walking around here, that got rings on their fingers, and those are the main ones that either cause for divorce, or they cause adultery, or they cause a man to be put in prison or dead. You know? So this whole ring thing, man, like I said again, I said it before, I'll say it again, closing out, well, I'm going to probably just play a little bit more. But if she asks you for a ring, ask for a token of virginity. That part. You know, and I'm trying to say that to these brothers at the plantation, but you know, they're gonna do what they feel the world is. It is what it is. All right.
Rings became common for both men and women. As Christianity spread throughout the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church began to incorporate many cultural customs into Christian ceremonies, including the wedding ring tradition. However, the church didn't just copy Roman culture. They gave the ring spiritual meaning. Instead of just being a legal symbol, the wedding ring now represented God's blessing over the marriage. One of the earliest recorded Christian wedding customs was a special blessing of the ring during the ceremony. Here's how it worked.
Asthma doesn't want you to be the cool mom. Triggers can pop.
In wedding customs was a special blessing of the ring during the ceremony. Here's how it worked. The priest would take the wedding ring and touch it to the thumb, saying, "In the name of the Father." Then he would touch the index finger, saying, "And of the Son." Next, he would touch the middle finger, saying, "And of the Holy Spirit." Finally, he would place the ring on the fourth finger of the left hand, symbolizing the completion of the blessing. This symbolic act was meant to represent that the marriage was sealed under the authority of God. This tradition became deeply embedded in Catholic weddings and was later adopted by the entire Christian world. By the Middle Ages, the church had firmly established the left-hand ring tradition, and it became the standard practice for Christian marriages across Europe. As Christianity spread, so did this wedding custom, which is why in most Western countries today, the left hand remains the traditional place for wedding rings.
All right. I'm just leave it right there pretty much, you know. Also known as America, also known as Rome, all over again. and their traditions. Right? Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull that up. We're going to close out on that. We're going to pull that up and close out on that. Don't give in, Don't give in to the ways of this world to the best of our ability. We waking up for a beautiful cause, man. To be married to Yahweh Shai. That's our purpose, to be married to Yahweh Shai. At the end of the day, don't let this shit out here distract you. Women, y'all too. Your purpose is to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Colossians chapter 2, verse 6. As ye have therefore received Yahweh Shai Mashiach the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after the anointed Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right. That's all I wanted to get right there. All right. Our marriage is our main focus is to be married to Yahweh Shai, which he's going to bring us through everything else that we have to go through in this earth, in this time, or in the time to come. All right. And there's an order. The head of the man is Yahweh Shai. The head of Yahweh Shai is the Most High, Yahweh, and the head of the woman is the man. And that's the order, and that's how we get into the kingdom, by following that order. Lord, wouldn't we be a part of that elect number? With that, I'm going to close out, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rachak Kodash. Again, double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful elect of Israel, whoever you may be, to the actual elect of Israel, whoever you may be. All right? That's all, pretty much, for now. Till next time, Kwan Yasharala, Wa Abba. Don't waste your money on that shit, man.